Greetings. Hey, it's Susie, and I am kind of thinking today a little bit about some of actually specifically about an Akashic reading I did this week with another healing practitioner. And so won't give away anybody's identity here, but we've done some trades in the past. And so it was really kind of an interesting reading, and I do have her permission to share without getting real specific. And this one has to do with ancestral um, connections. So, as things arise with some of my clients, in some cases, it may be just more, directly related to that person specifically. And then in some cases, we kind of see that it's possible that it could be related to some ancestral things. And that's kind of what happened this week. And I see that sometimes, and this time it really made me think about my own family. And, sometimes we get busy with our own lives and everything. And I really want to just acknowledge my family of origin. So my mom, acknowledging my mom and my dad who grew angel wings many years ago. And so he's still present. And then I have two brothers. So I've got my mom, Opal, my dad, Fred, and my siblings. There's four of us kids. I'm the baby, and my sister is my oldest sister, my oldest sibling, I guess. Her name is Sandra, and then I have a brother named Lynn and a brother named Chris. And my siblings are married and have children. Chris and Alina don't have children, but they have fur babies. And but my sister Sandra and Lynn both have kids, and then me and Sandra both have grandchildren. And so Sandra, I can't remember the count. She may have 11 or 12 grandkids. I can't remember. Hers are growing and growing. Anyway, and I have 5 grandchildren. And my oldest grandchild is 17 on down to, let's see, to 7 months. 7 months old is my youngest. So I really want to just kind of get grounded here in the ancestral. So the family members I'm talking about now are my family of origin. And then, of course, I have 2 children, Mark and Marie, and both of them have given me grandchildren. And it's just a real blessing. And so this goes back into the reading that I did with one of my healing practitioner buddies. And again, when I do my readings, it's a real interesting process because I I really don't go to the game or to the appointment or whatever prepared, because everything presents to me, and then I'm like a reporter almost. Or if I'm doing automatic writing, I'm basically the typist. So I really just show up, and I'm always available to do this work and to receive the information that comes through, and then I share what I see and experience. And this one ended up being related to the hurricane in Houston, and that was where I was, and I was actually in all of that. And so my friend was as well. And then her family was in another place, and they also suffered a severe blow by hurricane. And and she had developed something in her body, like a pain in her body, that developed about a month after her family's experience with a hurricane. And with that, she wasn't able to contact anybody, and everything was out. It's like, what do you do when there's no electricity and there's no resources? So there was a real serious um, just feeling in her heart. Just, I was watching all, following her and her sadness over not, makes me want to cry, but it was such a sad experience for her to be witnessing, this with her family, and not being able to get in touch with her mom and her siblings. Okay, that's why I kind of talk about my own siblings here. So anyway, there's traumas that happen here, and then sometimes these traumas get manifested in the body. And so I never know, how I can be of service to somebody. But when she talked to me about her shoulder hurting, and then it, and then her feeling, and I was a witness to her with her sadness about her family and not being able to communicate. Everybody's fine, but it took a while for her to know. And so I said, well, the shoulder, she was telling me with some treatment she's doing, and I said, well, or is it your right? She said it's her right shoulder. I said, are you right-handed? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, you know, this is, it's almost like you were reaching and reaching to be of help or service and you couldn't. Um, it just felt like it was something related to her family and what her family was going through. She went through the hurricane and her family did in another location. So anyway, we went into the records, and the appointment was supposed to be for about 30 minutes, just a quick one, but I can't do that. Anyway, so some visuals came in for me, and a lot of times, I mean, I definitely got a connection with the shoulder and with something holding on, some energy holding on, related to that sadness with her family. Here comes the yawning. I always yawn when I'm doing Akashic reading. I must be getting some energy coming in, because when I do readings with people, I'm yawning the whole time. Anyway, so we may have some spirit dropping in for this. But I do feel sorrow, for everybody that is affected by any kind of, just natural disaster or that sort of thing. And anyway, so I ended up, we went through a process, which I won't go into all the details. Here comes it. Okay. We have spirit entering in. I love it. So we went through a process, and there was some information given to her. And then in some cases, I will do different things with my clients. And this one, I asked if she would be willing to release some energies or to send some energies in different ways. And she's, of course, yes, she trusts the process. And again, I'm kind of guided. If you do a reading with me, you're going to see a lot of yawning, because the spirit that comes in, it brings a different frequency. It doesn't hurt my body, but it just creates this different experience for me. I didn't think I would do it on these videos. Anyway, so we ended up going back to where I started with my family and my siblings and my ancestors, some of my, my family line. I really was feeling that there might be some possibility to clear family line or ancestral lineage for my friend. And there's quite a process. It's very energetic. Again, it's perfectly comfortable for me. And it's something that she was willing to do. So we not only wanted to be part of her healing of her shoulder, and also her healing of her, any trauma or any emotions related to, the sorrow of not being there to assist her family when they needed that. But so we really went into the ancestral line, first working with her shoulder, working from her, and then we moved to her family in this other place. And then we just really started to just really lift up, and I won't go into all the language that I use. It's fairly energetic, but we went into clearing and sending beautiful, beautiful light to her ancestors in their home place, and also sending the beautiful love and light also to the ancestors that are no longer here. And then we went further, we went deeper into the lineage, and then just sending this beautiful love to ancestors that came from other origins, from different places before they landed in her home place where her family was. So we were sending all this beautiful energy and light. These readings are just so funny, because I'm yawning, and then I'm laughing, then I'm crying. Anyway, I love my friend, and I just really felt for her feeling of sadness, and kind of some trauma related to not being to be able to even connect with her family. Are they still there? And as it turns out, they were fine. You know, not. I mean, they were alive. They had some real serious things going on, but they were good. And so we really worked on the ancestral. Sometimes when we're working for our own self, like a little pain or an ache or something that's showing up, we can really, kind of pinpoint, some emotions around that. And then also look at, the deeper meaning here. And for whatever reason, the records were informing the reading to go into ancestral. Just basically just kind of an infusion of love, and that felt really, 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 really good. Anyway, then what I found as this was going through, again, it's an energetic, usually when I'm doing this, it might be a little bit of a trance-like looking state or an altered state, but it's a very deep meditative state that I go into. And like even now my eyes are open and I'm talking, but I'm still pulling in the energy and I still have some awareness. It's just funny watching myself yawn. Anyway, at a certain point on this Akashic reading with my dear sweetheart, I was informed as we were going down the ancestral line, starting first with my friend and directly related to her shoulder, and then going to her family of origin who's presently alive, then to the family of origin from that place who are no longer here but in spirit. And then we went further down the lineage. So we were going back many generations with her family, just sending beautiful, just a burst of love. And then I was instructed, and this has never happened to me before. Now I work in all timelines, past, present, future. So I'm accustomed to that. This was the first time, I was informed to go forward. And so as I was sending that love into the prior timelines, into past generations of her lineage, I actually did an opposite movement and sent the energy of love into future family members, future lineage. All right, so just allow that opportunity to, as we're looking, because really there's this timelessness nature of our beingness. So we could say everything is past, present, or future, or we could just say, listen, everything is happening now. So in that moment now, we just did this beautiful infusion of this beautiful love, moving forward in the lineage, and not just of my friend, but of her family that is here now, and also for the other souls that are part of the lineage that have moved forward into other different timelines and different experiences, just sending and vibrating that love out into the future. It felt so interesting to do that. And I mean, I don't even know if I could even make this kind of stuff up if I weren't able to do the readings. Okay, so that's what it looks like to have a reading with me. As I'm talking, I'm in a meditative state and I'm yawning, and that's part of the energy. When I'm open and so touched by love, because most of this work with the Akashic records it's really like tapping in to universal love. And there's been several instances where I did some work with folks that are on the other side, or not folks. They were human, they were people just like me and you. But then in some cases, I do work with the departed loved ones, and so. When I do that type of work, it is just amazing because the love is it's so profound. And I thought the love of, a partner was good. Then I thought, oh God, the love of children, then the love of grandchildren. But that universal love just blew me away. Anyway, whew, thank you for listening to this. With your lineage, with your family, take a moment if you would like to, and really honor those people in your family. And may you be blessed.